So while the IRS keeps robbing you blind, another government agency is still spying on all of us. The FBI's own handbook reportedly revealing that they have worked with the CIA and NSA to surveil Americans not accused of any crimes. And guess what? They do it without court orders. In other words, no American is safe from snooping, especially when these bullies get together. So will the Bureau ever be held responsible for their blatant invasion of privacy, or will they skate by without any oversight once again? Joining us now to discuss, former CIA officer and Portman Square Group chairman, CEO, and founder. Get your January special online with Mike Baker.
I'm the CEO, chairman, and founder.
That's right.
I also park cars, and I'm the lunch lady. I do a lot of things around the office. I tidy up at the end of the day. Look, when you say when you say that the Bureau uses the CIA and NSA to surveil U.S. citizens, yes, it sounds bad. And is there potential for this to be a goat rope to head south and be abused? Yes, but if I could at the top of this, just point out one example of where it's actually logical, it makes sense, and it's of limited use, or it is put to limited use. And that would be if the FBI requests that the agency, for example, search its database for any foreign connections of concern to a subject that the FBI is doing one of these assessments on or is looking at. And so they would say, here we have a subject. The agency would run it through a database to say, yes, well, look, we have contact between this individual here in the U.S. and perhaps a known or suspected terrorist or cartel member or organized crime, whatever it may be. So I guess what I'm saying is there are legitimate purposes at times for this. But again, with the caveat that could this power be abused? Well, of course. I mean, we know that's
all you
possible,
have to do is look at the case of Carter Page. Carter Page was working legitimately with the CIA. The FBI knew about it. They omitted that information when they submitted an application to spy on Carter Page. That is an abuse of power. Yeah. That's one of the only ones we know about. I'm sure there are many, many times where this can be used and agencies can work in concert with one another to keep all of us safer. The problem is, as we have seen with the FBI going after parents and the FBI strongly suggesting to Twitter who to silence and who to shadow ban, that this heavy-handedness is a virus, and there is no one there working within the Bureau who has the stones to cure it.
Right, and the best way to try to understand or to mitigate or to limit the potential for abuse of power is always transparency, frankly. And one of the ways that we have within the government established to provide that transparency are these investigative committees, the House, Permanent Intelligence Committee, and the problem here, I don't want to sound overly cynical, but when the new Congress comes in and they say, we're setting up a committee, we're going to investigate the potential, abuses by federal government agencies, my only concern there is that investigations typically, they go to D.C. to shrivel up and die.
Exactly right.
There are very few times when any meaningful action or findings come out of these investigations that seem to just evalually disappear. And the next thing you know, they're starting up another investigation into something else. So,
Baker, it's a feel-good exercise. It's like, a vibrating bike feels great. It's never going to get you pregnant. All right, and that's what happens in Congress. And even when these agencies get their hands slapped and they're told when they are given legislative parameters, they still violate them. And that happened over and over again at the NSA. In fact, what they were doing after they were given very strict rules, they just went on to violate them 6 ways to Sunday. And you don't want to know what happened on the Sabbath.
Right.
Baker?
Right. Look, there tends to be. I'm still thinking about that whole vibrating bike seat analogy, but there is a well-beaten path between, at least for the CIA, between Langley and Capitol Hill, where briefings are presented on activities and operations up on Capitol Hill. and I think that should always be encouraged, and we should encourage the politicians to do their job, to be curious, to ask the questions, of the government agencies. Again, my cynicism is that it rarely actually happens or really produces any results.
I agree with you there. I miss the good old days when the CIA would just make fun of the FBI nonstop. We'll get back to that at some point, Baker. Thank you very much for being here. Always good to talk to you.
Okay. Sure. See you next week.
Thank you.